You ever look at a web page and just think, man, this could be so much more? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain, unlock the power of JavaScript, and give a web page its very first spark of life. So here's the thing. A standard web page, on its own, is just a document. It's like a painting. It can be beautiful, but it just sits there. It doesn't do anything. So the big question is, how do we get it to go from just being static to being a truly interactive experience? Think about it like this. A web page without any instructions is just a pile of parts. It's like a car with no driver. To make it go anywhere, someone's got to give it commands. And that's exactly what JavaScript is. It's the driver. I love this analogy. Your HTML, that's just the ingredients for a cake. You've got your flour, your sugar, your eggs, but they're not going to magically turn into a cake by themselves, right? JavaScript, that's the recipe. It's the step-by-step instructions that tell the browser how to take those ingredients and make something amazing. Okay, so that's the big question, isn't it? How do we actually connect that recipe to the ingredients? We've got our HTML structure all set up, and we've got our JavaScript instructions ready to go. We need a way to bring them together so the magic can happen. And the answer, well, it's actually super simple. It all comes down to a fundamental piece of HTML called the script tag. This little guy is the magic connector. It's the bridge that links our JavaScript code directly into our web page. So what is it really? It's just an HTML tag, but it's specifically designed to hold or point to executable code. In our case, JavaScript. You can stick this tag pretty much anywhere in your HTML file, and it becomes the little container for all your interactive instruction. And here it is, the classic hello world. See, when a browser hits the script tag, it stops just, drawing stuff on the screen, and it actually starts doing things. It runs whatever code is inside, and in this case, bam, it pops up an alert. That's it. That's your page's very first action. Now that you know about the script tag, you basically have two main ways you can go. You can either write your code right there inside your HTML file, or you can keep it in a totally separate file. Let's take a look at both paths. Okay, let's break this down. On one hand, you've got inline scripts. That just means the code lives right inside the script tags inside your HTML. It's perfect for really small, simple things. On the other hand, we have external scripts. That's where your code lives in its own separate .js file. This is the way to go for anything more complex, because it's way more organized, it's reusable, and honestly, it's way better for your site's performance. So how do you actually hook up that external file? The whole secret is the src attribute. src just stands for source. You just add this little attribute to your script tag and tell it where to find your JavaScript file. It's literally that easy. And here are the exact steps. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you create a brand new file, save it with a .js at the end, like script.js. Second, you put all your JavaScript code inside that file. And third, you hop back to your HTML and add a single script tag with that src attribute pointing to your new file. And you're done. So why bother with a whole separate file? Well, the benefits are huge. Seriously, when a browser downloads that external file once, it saves it in its memory. That's called the cache. So the next time a user visits another page on your site that needs the same script, the browser doesn't have to download it all over again. It just grabs it from the cache. This makes your pages load way faster, reduces traffic, and keeps all your code nice and organized. It's a win-win-win. All right, let's take a quick but really important detour. As you start looking at code out there on the internet, you're going to run into some older ways of doing things. Let's cover those and one major pitfall to watch out for so you don't get tripped up. So you might see script tags that have these attributes like type equals text/JavaScript or even language equals JavaScript. You can just completely ignore them. Modern HTML is smart. It just assumes that if it sees a script tag, it's JavaScript. So these are totally not needed anymore. If you see them, you're just looking at some really old code. Okay, now this is the big one. If you only remember one rule from this, make it this one. A single script tag cannot have a source attribute pointing to a file and have code written inside it at the same time. If it has a source, the browser will flat out ignore any code you put between the tags. You gotta pick one or the other. And this slide makes it crystal clear. Look at the left side. That code is trying to do two things at once with one tag. The browser gets confused, and that alert will never ever run. The right side shows you the correct way to do it. You just use two separate clean script tags, one for your external file and a second one for any inline code you need. Simple as that. And just like that, you've done it. By understanding this one little tag and the two ways to use it, you've taken the most important first step. You now have the fundamental tool you need to add behavior and life to any web page out there. You're a coder. So let's just recap the big ideas real quick. The one and only tool you need to add JavaScript is the script tag. For small, simple stuff, just put your code right inside it. For anything bigger or more complex, put that code in its own .js file and then link it up using script src. That's it. 2 methods. That's all it takes to get started. You now know the 2 fundamental ways to add JavaScript to any web page on the planet. This is the foundation for pretty much everything cool on the web. You now literally have the power to make a web page speak. That first hello world, that's just the very beginning. So the real question is, now that you have this new skill, what amazing, interactive, and dynamic things are you going to teach it to do next? The possibilities are endless.